I used to think if I stayed quiet long enough, maybe the pain would get tired of chasing me. It didn't. It followed me into every morning, every mirror, every prayer. But somehow, I'm still here. Everybody sees the smile, nobody asked how much it cost. I've been carrying mountains inside my chest, walking like they weigh nothing. I became an expert at saying I'm okay with a voice that didn't believe itself. Some nights my thoughts were louder than the thunder outside. I'd stare at the ceiling, counting regrets instead of stars. I questioned every dream, every promise, every piece of faith I thought I had. I wasn't living, I was surviving, barely. Then I heard something, not loud, just enough to remind me darkness doesn't get the final word. My hope refused to die, even when my faith was barely breathing. Even when my heart forgot what peace sounded like. Every scar kept telling me to quit, but something deeper kept whispering. One more step, I almost gave up, but hope never gave up on me. I blame myself for storms I never created, held on to guilt that never belonged to me. I kept replaying memories like changing the ending could somehow change my future. I built prisons using my own thoughts, locked every dream behind fear, then wondered why freedom felt impossible. People walked away, some without saying goodbye, some smiling, while carrying pieces of me they never planned to return. That betrayal didn't just break trust, it changed the way I looked at the world. But broken glass still reflects light, maybe broken people can too. My hope refused to die, even when the nights became endless. Even when anxiety made breathing feel impossible, I kept hearing that quiet voice, keep walking, keep believing, keep breathing. You're closer than you think. Healing wasn't dramatic, it didn't happen overnight. There weren't fireworks, no applause, just small victories. Getting out of bed, answering one phone call, looking in the mirror without looking away. Learning that strength isn't never falling, strength is standing up every single time life convinces you to stay down. I stopped asking why me, and started asking what can this pain teach me? That's when everything changed. I know what it feels like to pray and hear nothing to cry, until no tears are left to smile, while your soul quietly collapses. But maybe silence doesn't mean abandonment. Maybe God was building strength where nobody could see it. Yeah, look at me now, I'm not fearless. I'm just done letting fear write my story. Depression knocked, it didn't own the house. Anxiety screamed, it didn't become my identity. Failure visited, it didn't become my future. Every scar became evidence, every tear became fuel. Every broken piece became part of the foundation. I used to think hope was something you found. Now I know hope is something you choose again, again. Until one day you realize you survived everything that tried to convince you that you wouldn't. My hope refused to die. 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 When everything else inside me felt ready to surrender, the darkness stayed. But so did I. The fear remained, but courage grew louder. The tears kept falling, but so did the blessings. I didn't win because life became easier. I won because I refused to stop believing. Hope wasn't waiting at the finish line. Hope walked beside me every painful step, until I finally believe the best chapters were never behind me. If you're listening and you feel like you're losing the fight, you're not finished. The fact that you're still breathing means your hope refused to die too. People tell you time heals everything, but nobody talks about the nights where the clock feels frozen, where 5 minutes feels like 5 years, where your own heartbeat sounds like it's questioning whether you should keep going. I memorized disappointment, learned every crack inside my confidence. I became so familiar with failure that success started feeling like a language I forgot how to speak. But every morning something kept pulling me back onto my feet, not because I was strong, because quitting never brought peace. I spent years trying to outrun my past, change cities in my mind, change faces, change dreams, but pain always knew my address. I realized healing isn't running away, it's turning around, looking your fears in the eyes and refusing to let them introduce themselves as your future. The chains were made of iron, they were made of lies. I repeated until they sounded like truth. I'll never change, I'm too damaged, I'm too late. Those weren't facts, they were prisons. I remember asking God, if you're listening, why is every answer wrapped inside another storm? I wasn't looking for riches or applause, I just wanted one peaceful night, one morning without anxiety, waiting beside my bed. One moment where breathing didn't feel like climbing mountains. Then I realized faith isn't believing after the miracle. Faith is believing before you can see it.
I don't hate the person I used to be. I grieve for him, the version of me who apologized for existing, who carried everyone's burdens while silently breaking, who confused survival with living. I wish I could tell him, you don't have to earn love,
you don't have to prove your worth,
you don't have to bleed to still belong.
but maybe
he had to survive so I could become
the man standing here today. So if you're listening with tears, you keep hiding with battles you never spoken out loud. Hear me, your pain isn't your identity, your failures aren't your future, your scars aren't evidence that you're losing their proof. You survived every chapter that tried to erase you. The world might remember your mistakes, but God remembers your purpose. And one day you'll look back at the darkest season of your life, not as the place where hope disappeared, but as the place where hope refused to die. Instead, healing looked like crying a little less, believing a little more, laughing without forcing it. Finding pieces of myself I thought were buried forever. I didn't notice I was becoming stronger, because strength grew quietly. If these walls could speak, they tell you how many nights I fought thoughts that wanted me to surrender. How many times I stood at the edge of giving up, only to take one more step forward. My mind became a battlefield, but battles are meant to last forever eventually. Even the loudest war runs out of ammunition. My doubts used to introduce themselves like they own the place. You'll never be enough, you'll never change, you'll always be broken. For years I believed them, until one day I look back and realize I've already survived. Everything they said would destroy me, funny, the lies got weaker the longer I kept walking. When the world went quiet, the hardest moments weren't loud, they were silent. No dramatic endings, no crashing waves, just empty rooms, cold mornings, and a heart too exhausted to keep pretending. That's where I learned character isn't built under spotlights, it's built when nobody's watching. I thought I was being buried, turns out I was being planted. Every tear watered something I couldn't see, every failure pushed my roots a little deeper. Growth doesn't ask for permission, it happens beneath the surface, long before anyone notices the breakthrough. The fire couldn't keep me, the fire burned. No point pretending it didn't. It took relationships, dreams, confidence, years I'll never get back, but it couldn't burn the one thing that mattered most, the belief that my purpose was bigger than my pain. Fear asked me, what if you fail again? I answered, what if I don't? Fear said, what if they leave? I smiled, they already did. Fear whispered, you'll never recover. I looked at my scars, they said that about yesterday too. I searched for hope like it was hiding. I looked inside people's success, money, applause, nothing lasted. Then I discovered hope wasn't waiting at the end of the road, it had been walking beside me. Every step I thought I walked alone. I'm not standing here Because I have all the answers, I'm standing here. Because I stopped running from the questions. I still have bad days, still wrestle with all memories. Still hear echoes of the person I used to be, but they don't control me anymore. Now, they're just reminders of how far I've already come. Yeah. I spent years believing darkness would always win, that pain was permanent, that hope was for someone else. Then one morning the sun rose without asking whether I deserved it. That's when I understood grace doesn't arrive because you've earned it. It arrives because love refuses to leave you behind. And just like the sunrise, felt unfamiliar, like hearing an old friend whose voice I almost forgot. The mirror knew every lie I whispered to myself. You're too broken, you'll never change. But every morning I open my eyes again, and maybe that was proof enough that my story still had another page. Nobody noticed how much energy it took just to act normal. I laughed while my mind was falling apart backstage. I celebrated victories I didn't even feel. I smiled for pictures, then cried before I made it home. People called me strong, they never saw how many times I almost surrendered before breakfast. Dear yesterday, yesterday, yeah. Dear yesterday, I forgive you for all the pain you couldn't stop, for every dream you watched collapse, for every goodbye that left another scar. You made me believe life was only survival, but today I'm learning that surviving was only the beginning. The beginning. Silence became my favorite hiding place, not because I had nothing to say, because explaining pain to people who only hear words never changes anything. Some wounds don't bleed, they echo. Some tears never fall, they stay trapped behind tired eyes, waiting for someone to finally notice. Through the fall, I couldn't see tomorrow, I couldn't see tomorrow. Everything ahead looked covered by fear, but faith was never about seeing. It was about walking when the road disappeared. Taking another step with shaking knees, believing that somewhere beyond the fog light was already waiting. I stopped asking why life kept breaking me. Instead I started asking what it was building, cause every setback left something behind. Patience, wisdom, compassion, strength I never would have found inside comfort. Turns out the ruins weren't the end, they were the foundation. Yeah. When fear's loudest, fear told me, you'll always be this way, you'll never outrun your past, no one will understand. It repeated those lies until they sounded like my own voice. Then one quiet morning, hope whispered just 4 words: you don't belong here. Those words erased the pain. They reminded me I wasn't created to live inside it. Every mountain looked impossible from the bottom, every dream felt too far away. But I wasn't climbing to prove people wrong, I was climbing to prove the broken version of me that he wasn't left behind. Every step hurt, every breath burned, but every inch forward was another reminder. Hope climbs, even when it crawls. One day, I stopped praying for an easier life. I started praying for a stronger heart, because storms don't ask permission, they arrive. They shake everything, they expose what's real. When mine finally passed, I wasn't the same person. I wasn't untouched, I was transformed. Hope refused to die. There were nights I honestly believed I'd reach the end. No answers, no strength, no light, just another battle waiting for sunrise. But hope never needed perfect circumstances. It survived every disappointment, every betrayal, every unanswered prayer, every tear that fell in silence. Because hope was never built on how I felt, it was built on the belief that even in my darkest chapter, God was still writing the ending.